Welcome back to Explore Music, where we discover and learn about traditional and cultural music of the world. We'll start with a brief history of the country and language before moving into its musical influences, original dances, and lastly, composers and genres throughout the centuries. Today, we're exploring the music and dance of traditional Ukraine. Ukraine, the second largest country in Europe by landmass, is bordered by Russia, Poland, Belarus, Slovakia, Moldova, Romania, and Hungary. Throughout its early history, Ukraine witnessed the presence of various civilizations, including the Dacians, Thracians, Huns, and Goths. However, it was during the 5th century AD that the region saw a significant settlement by people of the Kiev culture, widely recognized as the earliest Slavic culture. The capital of Ukraine, Kiev, was founded in 882 by the Varangian noble Oleg the Wise. This marked the establishment of the influential Slavic state known as Kievan Rus. Although Kievan Rus eventually succumbed to the Mongol invasion, the Kingdom of Ruthenia emerged as a power in the region during the 13th century. Later, the imposition of the Polish-Lithuanian rule in the Commonwealth until the late 16th century triggered migrations of Poles, Lithuanians, Jews, and Germans to the areas, exasperating oppression faced by the existing Ukrainian population. In the 18th century, Ukraine became divided between the Russian and Austro-Hungarian empires. Besides the predominant Ukrainian ethnicity, the country is also home to various ethnic minority groups, such as the Lemkos, Hutsuls, and Boykos. These groups boast unique cultures, languages, and traditions that have significantly contributed to the diverse tapestry of Ukraine's history. During the 19th century, Ukrainian intellectuals and nationalists began advocating for greater autonomy and independence. The Ukrainian People's Republic was declared in 1917, but was short-lived, eventually becoming part of the Soviet Union in 1922. World War II brought devastating consequences as Ukraine fell under Nazi Germany occupation. Post-war, it became a republic within the Soviet Union. However, in 1991, Ukraine declared its independence and became a sovereign state. Since then, the country has faced numerous political, economic, and social challenges, including the annexation of Crimea by Russia in 2014 and the ongoing conflict in eastern Ukraine. Ukrainian, the national language, belongs to the East Slavic group of the Slavic languages, alongside Russian and Belarusian. It evolved from the Old East Slavic language spoken during the Kievan Rus period and became developed as a distinct language in the 14th and 15th centuries, coinciding with the emergence of the Cossack Hetmanate and the strengthening of Ukrainian national identity. Today, Ukrainian is spoken by over 40 million people worldwide. Many of Ukraine's musical influences and traditions trace their roots back to the pre-Christian pagan era and have evolved over centuries. Among the traditional styles of singing in Ukraine, one notable example is white singing, also known as white voice. White voice singing is characterized by a controlled nasal scream, accompanied by an open throat and bright tonality. Ukrainian ritual melodies constitute a distinct genre of music that has been preserved for generations, playing a crucial role in the country's cultural identity. These melodies are characterized by a recitative style, predominantly monodic, and relying on notes within the range of a third or fourth. Melodies employ a perfect fourth as their melodic structure, with the main central tone as the lowest note. One iconic example of Ukrainian ritual melody is the renowned Carol of the Bells. The Carol of the Bells holds a significant place in Ukrainian culture and is frequently performed during the Christmas season. In Ukrainian folk music, the Mixolydian and Dorian modes find more frequent usage compared to the Ionian and Aeolian modes, which are just regular minor and major modes. The Mixolydian and Dorian modes are distinguished by their incorporation of the augmented second interval, present in the raised fourth and seventh degrees of the scales. This interval is instrumental in creating melodic expression and evokes a sense of tension and melancholy unique to Ukrainian folk music. The Ukrainian Dorian scale bears similarities to the Dorian mode in Western music, yet possesses a distinct characteristic that lends it a unique flavor, the augmented second interval in between the third and fourth scale degrees. This 8-note scale starts on a note and follows the interval patterns of a whole step, half step, augmented second, half step, and whole step. These intervals contribute to the scale's recognizable Eastern sound. The Ukrainian Dorian scale allows for the creation of melodies that evoke both haunting and joyful sentiments, making it a common choice in Ukrainian folk songs, dances, and instrumental music. Another notable aspect of this scale is the use of melismatic singing, where multiple notes are sung on a single syllable of text. The Kobzar tradition has its roots in Ukrainian bardic singing and can be traced back to the 16th century. Kobzars were nomadic minstrels who traveled from village to village, captivating audiences with their songs and recitations of epic poems that recounted historical events, celebrated heroic figures, and depicted everyday life in Ukraine. The Kobzar repertoire encompassed a diverse range of musical genres, including traditional folk songs, religious hymns, and historical ballads. These captivating performances were accompanied by the bandura, a plucked string instrument resembling the lute or mandolin. The Kobzars were renowned not only for their instrumental skills, but also for their unique singing style, characterized by high-pitched nasal tones and intricate melodic ornamentation. In the 19th century, the Kobzar tradition faced severe challenges as the Russian government aimed to suppress Ukrainian culture and language. Many Kobzars were unjustly arrested and imprisoned, while their instruments were confiscated or destroyed. Despite these hardships, the Kobzar tradition managed to survive and adapt, leaving an indelible impact on modern Ukrainian folk music. The music originating from the Carpathian Mountains is characterized by the prominent use of traditional instruments such as the bandura, cymbalom, hurdy-gurdy, and the duda, a type of bagpipe. Furthermore, the region is notable for its unique vocal styles, which encompass techniques like yodeling. The Dumka, a musical genre that originated in Ukraine during the late 18th and early 19th century, has roots in traditional Ukrainian folk songs and ballads passed down through generations. The term Dumka derives from the Ukrainian word duma, meaning thought or reflection. Typically performed as a solo vocal piece accompanied by a simple melody played on instruments, dumki convey narratives or express emotions. Written examples of dumki can be traced back to the 16th century, and they have evolved into a structured form with distinct features. They evoked a melancholy and introspective mood, often incorporating a contrasting, lively section called the shokni. Dumki are commonly sung in the Dorian mode and performed with rubato style, allowing variations in tempo and dynamics to amplify the emotional essence of the lyrics. Ethnomusicologists like Filaret Kolesa and Clement Kvitka have made significant contributions by documenting and analyzing these traditions. Their work has deepened our understanding of the recitative style and the unique tonal structure of Ukrainian ritual melodies. Alongside ethnomusicologists, numerous musicians are devoting to safeguarding and performing Ukrainian ritual melodies. One notable figure is Hanat Kotkevich, a composer and conductor who played a pivotal role in the revival Ukrainian choral music in the early 20th century. Ukrainian dance is a vibrant art form deeply rooted in the country's cultural heritage. Colorful costumes add to the visual appeal. Vesnyanki is a spring song tradition in Ukraine, celebrating the season and nature's renewal. These joyous songs are sung in groups during springtime festivals. Hopak is the national dance, known for its energetic and acrobatic movements. Both men and women perform this dynamic dance. Kosochok is a popular couple dance with fast footwork originating from the Cossacks. Arkan is a slow and graceful circle dance often performed at weddings and celebrations. There are many other dances in Ukraine, but some of the more famous ones include the Prifet, Hatsolka, Chernyaska, Dumka, and Troista. Several modern traditional Ukrainian dance groups keep the art form alive, including the Ukrainian Shumka Dancers, the Versky Ukrainian National Dance Company, and the Ukrainian Academy of Dance. Ukrainian composers have a long history that spans over many centuries, so I'll try to keep it brief by mentioning only a few of the most important ones from each musical period. One of the most celebrated Ukrainian composers is Mykola Leontovich, renowned for his composition of the beloved Christmas carol, Carol of the Bells. His work has become an iconic part of holiday celebrations worldwide. Another notable composer is Miroslav Skorik, known for his captivating compositions such as the Carpathian Concerto and the enchanting Melody for Violin and Piano. Mykola Deletsky, a prominent composer of the Baroque era, played a key role in shaping Ukrainian classical music. His most famous work is Hieromologia, a collection of choral compositions published in 1716. It's a big deal because it was the first ever published work of Ukrainian music, a major milestone in the country's musical history. Timofey Bilohorodsky was a composer and lutenist who served as a court lutenist for the Polish king and later the Russian empress in the 18th century. He is known for his works for lute, which include preludes, allemans, sarabands, minuets, and other dance forms. Some of his compositions were published in collections during his lifetime, while others survive in manuscript form. He is considered one of the most significant Ukrainian composers of the Baroque era. Oleksiy Rozumovsky was a nobleman who was known for his patronage of the arts and music during his time as hetman of the left bank Ukraine in the mid-18th century. He supported numerous musicians, composers, and artists. He also encouraged the establishment of music schools and orchestras, which helped to develop a vibrant musical culture in Ukraine during his reign. Maxim Berezovsky was a composer who lived during the late Baroque and early classical periods. He was born in Lviv in present-day Ukraine and received his early musical education in Kiev. He later studied in Italy and became a prominent composer in the Italian opera scene. His best-known work is the liturgy Choral Concerto No. 6, which is still performed by Ukrainian choirs today. Unfortunately, much of his music has been lost over time, and only a few of his compositions survive. Dmitry Bortniansky was a composer who lived in the late 18th and early 19th century. He was born near Kiev and studied music in Italy, where he became familiar with the works of the great composers of the time, including Mozart and Haydn. He is best known for his choral compositions, which include more than 100 sacred works, as well as a number of secular pieces. Artemy Vedel, born in 1767, had a strong background in music and theology. He became a monk in the Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church and served as a choir director and organist in various churches across Ukraine. Vedel's most famous work is Svitke Theotoke, a collection of sacred choral works. This collection, published in 1792, includes 60 pieces such as hymns, psalms, and liturgical chants. Semyon Hulak Artemovsky is renowned for his opera Zaporozhets za Danube, a classic beyond the Danube, recognized as the first Ukrainian national opera. The opera depicts the journey of Cossacks who crossed the Danube River to confront the Ottoman Turks. The central character, Taras, a Cossack, falls in love with Fatima, a Turkish princess. This love story explores themes of Ukrainian identity, patriotism, and the struggle against oppression. The opera's unique aspect was its use of the Ukrainian language, which was uncommon at the time. Mikhailo Verbitsky, composer, conductor, and musicologist from 1815 to 1870, is renowned for composing the music for the Ukrainian national anthem, Cheche ne vmerla Ukraina, meaning Ukraine has not yet perished. The anthem's lyrics were written by poet Pavlo Chubinsky, and Verbitsky's melody was first performed in 1864. This anthem gained immense popularity during Ukraine's national revival in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, and was officially adopted as a national anthem after Ukraine's independence in 1991. Verbitsky's contributions extend beyond the anthem. He composed choral and instrumental music and conducted choirs in Lviv and Chernivtsi. He is regarded as one of the pioneers of Ukrainian classical music. Mykolai Lysenko was a prominent figure in Ukrainian classical music. He was a versatile composer, pianist, conductor, ethnomusicologist, and teacher, and played a pivotal role as one of the founders of modern Ukrainian classical music. His compositions, including operas, symphonies, chamber music, and choral works, often featured Ukrainian folk melodies and themes. Notable works include Taras Bulba, In the Fields of Ukraine, and Sheshedzik. He founded the first Ukrainian music school in Lviv, and later established the Ukrainian National Music Academy in Kiev. Yuliy Meitus was a composer born in Kharkiv. He studied at the Leningrad Conservatory and later became a professor at the Kharkiv Conservatory. Meitus composed symphonies, operas, chamber music, and vocal works. His opera, The Dawns Here Are Quiet, is particularly renowned and depicts the Soviet soldiers' fight against the German army in World War II. Meitus played an active role in Ukraine's cultural scene, serving as the chairman of the Union of Composers of Ukraine and receiving numerous accolades for his contributions to music and culture. Stefania Turkevich was a Ukrainian-Canadian composer and music educator. She was born in Ukraine and immigrated to Canada in 1930. Her music is influenced by both Ukrainian folk and Western classical music. She wrote for orchestras, chamber ensembles, solo instruments, and voice. Some of her notable works include the Symphony No. 1, the Concertino for piano and orchestra, and the Suite for string orchestra. She also wrote music for Ukrainian folk songs such as Oi, Kosak, Kosak, and Zvitut Kokli Vipoli. Ukrainian folk music remains vibrant in the 21st century, and Nina Matvienko, born in 1947, stands out as a revered folk singer and cultural ambassador. She has earned numerous accolades, including the prestigious title of People's Artist of Ukraine. In the Soviet Union during the 1960s and 70s, a distinct genre known as chanson emerged in Ukraine. Chanson is characterized by its poignant and emotive lyrics, often delving into the struggles and complexities of everyday life, love, and personal relationships. Blending elements of folk, pop, and rock music, Ukrainian chanson offers a diverse musical landscape. Volodymyr Ivasyuk was a highly talented and beloved Ukrainian singer, songwriter, and composer of the 20th century. His extensive repertoire encompasses over 250 songs, which became hits not only in Ukraine but also in other Soviet Union countries. Kobza, a Ukrainian rock band that emerged in the 1970s, exuded a magnetic fusion of Ukrainian folk music and rock. Named after the traditional Kobza instrument, their music possessed an electrifying energy that enchanted audiences. However, their journey was cut short in 1976 due to a clash with the Ukrainian authorities, who perceived the band's popularity and potential political influence as a threat. Ukrainian popular music underwent a transformative journey in the late 20th century, reflecting the country's political and social changes. Notable artists of the time include Sofia Rotaru, blending traditional Ukrainian music with pop, and Vopli Vodoplyasova, fusing rock and folk themes. The 90s witnessed further evolution as a new generation explored rock, pop, hip hop, and electronic genres. Oki and Elzy, formed in the late 90s, became an immensely popular band addressing social and political issues through their music. Ruslana, a prominent pop star, shines as one of Ukraine's biggest present-day icons. Contemporary artists continue to draw inspiration from traditional Ukrainian music and instruments, propelling the ongoing evolution of Ukrainian popular music. Embracing their rich musical heritage and diverse cultural traditions, these musicians craft a vibrant tapestry that resonates with audiences both within and beyond Ukraine. Thanks for watching the traditional music and culture of Ukraine on Explore Music. Be sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below about what you learned and what you would like to see next from Explore Music.